right, folks, so we're just looking at some of this footage here. It's fantastic. Fantastic to see what our clubs are busy getting up to. But we're going to take a look here. We got some footage from Blue Stars United on the park. We got something from Brackenfell on the park and Belha. Ashwin Sprague and his team sent us a couple of clips. Jerome, but of course this is a time where people get creative. Well, we're not going to let anybody into the picture just yet, but this is still of a fun time where people are still. Clubs are not so serious just yet. I mean, I know that they're serious about their training, but it's an opportunity to still find your feet. Some people might not even play rugby. They're just joining the club to get into action.
Yes, exactly. I mean, even in your community, like you say, if there's an older guy who doesn't play anymore rugby, nothing stops him to go to the field and just go run with the boys, because it's always nice to run with people.
Well, it's interesting that you mention that, because I know of some friends of mine, for example, that have taken their kids to practice. They've got they've got their kids starting playing rugby, which I think is fantastic. And just because they saw so much fun on the field, they said, well, I'm going to join in as well. They're not going to play. Well, maybe they'll play, but in fact, I lie. They started practice and they said, well, I'm enjoying it so much, I also want to play.
That's exactly it. Last week I asked one of the biggest guys, so I could see this guy look a bit older. So I said, look, what are you just joining in for a bit of fun?
Yeah.
So he said, no, I'm still playing. I said, but how old are you?
Yeah.
He's 44.
Yeah. 44, yeah, but I mean...
Dion Fourie went to the World Cup at 40. I said, maybe you can still make the next World Cup.
Right, let's go look now, folks. First footage we're going to take a look at is Brackenfell Rugby Football Club. See if you can see what we're seeing, and Jerome and I will talk about it. Right, folks, don't forget, of course, Decro. You can see it there behind me right now. You can go and enter our Decro competition. Decro, of course, brings paint to life. Just go and tell us on Facebook who brings paint to life. What is the Decro slogan? Don't forget, of course, with Decro, one of the important things that you do need to do is you always have to prepare your surfaces correctly before you paint your walls, your house, whatever it might be. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Jerome, first highlights there, Brackenfell. One of the things that I noticed was the fact that the women are training with the men.
Yeah, that's great to see the ladies are joining in with the men. Nothing stops them because they basically do the same stuff. It's pre-season. They've got a bit of a strong men going there. So, yeah, and it's nice to see that they...
Strong men? Tell me a little bit more. When you looked at that, you obviously saw different to what I saw.
With the big tires and the sledgehammers, which they hit the tires and the ropes that they do, and also the resistant bands.
Yeah. And
one thing that I saw, I've never seen that, but that's great, how they improvise in the scrum machine where they do their dips.
Yeah, so I saw that. I saw that they're doing dips on the scrumming machine. Yeah.
They basically use whatever they had there on the field, and that's great.
I think it is fantastic. It actually brings a gees into it as well. It's not so. That's why I say it's more fun now as well. You have an opportunity to have fun, and the other thing about the physical training is that because the pattern is different, you've got to be strong completely.
Yeah.
Because it's not always like in a gym the machine is always the same. A dumbbell is always the same. A barbell is always the same. When you're on the field, if the coach says, one day we're doing sit-ups, but the next day we're doing lying down sit-ups, and the next day we're going to do upside down sit-ups, all of that means your body has to be strong across the board.
There's one thing that I would like to see more, like what you say now, sit-up and core. I think we neglect that a bit. I think they can bring that more in. It can be more of a sort of a station. You could just see, and you don't need any equipment to do that.
Well, you know where I'm gonna, you know I'll be jumping. Let's go, folks. We're gonna get. We will be talking about that, folks. We'll talk about a little bit about the understanding in the club structures of core strength and what that means. And Jerome and his experts will tell us more about that. Blue Stars United sent us a little clip in. Let's take a look. Blue Stars also in action. There we go, folks. Blue Stars United, of course, in Klapmut. Adrian Fisher from Blue Stars sent that into us. Adrian, of course, not 100% sure, Jerome, is he playing at the moment? Is he captaining? Is he coaching? We're going to have to ask Adrian Fisher from Blue Stars United exactly what he's doing now, because, Jerome, this is one of the things we get so often from players. They say, right, I'm hanging up my boots, but they stay in the game and they come back.
Or a player that says an assistant coach, but they end up playing more.
But a lot of players, I mean, we've seen, I think some big names that come out for me, where like players like JB van Ster, for example, led the way. You know, really role model at the team. We're talking about Tigerberg here, obviously. And JB played for years, and for years, JB told me he would hang up his boots, and he's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing. I mean, now definitely he stopped because I know he's just been coaching.
Yeah.
But when he went to take up the assistant coach role, he played also. So, but now he's just coaching. So, but it's also good because he can teach the guys on the field while he's playing. So if he's fit enough, why not play? Yeah.
No, 100%. Right, folks, of course, Decro Paints is on board with Cape Rugby TV. And we know that with Decro's coatings, one of the things that you have to do before you start your painting and your priming is you have to make sure that your surfaces are prepared correctly. You've got to clear out the loose parts. You've got to wipe away the dust. Jerome, you agree with me, right?
Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of painting myself, so there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and it's so simple now. Like you say, you can go to a shop, you can ask exactly what you want. They will explain to you what you need, and the stuff works.
Yeah, I think it's really it is. And by the way, folks, if you want to find that advice on how to prepare the surfaces before you start your painting or your priming, then of course Decro Paints at N1 City, at the game center, they've got someone there that is available to help you. Of course, Decro Paints is on board with Cape Rugby TV, and you can enter the Decro competition on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And we're running a competition there where you can win yourself a 500 Rand voucher courtesy of Decro Paints. And then all you do is go down to the game Game Center where there is a Decro shop, and you can go and collect your 500 Rands worth of Decro products. Right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Don't go away.